I sat completely still on my own kitchen floor for 8 hours. Not because anything was wrong with me, because my landlord said he'd drop by sometime between 9 and 5 to check the boiler, and I had decided, for reasons I still cannot fully explain, that the correct response to this was to cancel my entire personality for the day and wait. By the end of this, I had practiced a fake casual voice in the mirror, hid in perfectly normal items, because I convinced myself they looked suspicious, and had a complete breakdown over a single candle. Stay with me, because the candle moment alone is worth it. So here's some context. My landlord is a perfectly nice man, reasonable, polite, has never once raised his voice at me or given me any real reason to be afraid of him. And yet, the moment I get a message that says he might pop round to check something, my brain enters what I can only describe as a hostage negotiation state. Heart rate up, thoughts racing, a deep primal need to make my apartment look like nobody actually lives in it. I don't know where this comes from. I think somewhere deep in my nervous system, I have decided that landlords are secretly building a case against me. A case for what? I genuinely could not tell you. I pay my rent on time. I have never damaged anything. And yet the second one of them says, I'll stop by. My brain treats it like a surprise inspection from a foreign government. So, the message comes in on a Tuesday morning. He says, hi, just need to check the boiler at some point this week. Will message before I come. Completely reasonable, completely normal. A boiler check, this happens. Landlords are allowed to do this. I read that message roughly 14 times. 2 days later, the actual message arrives. He says, hi, thinking I'll pop by tomorrow, sometime between 9 and 5. Hope that works? An exclamation mark. He used an exclamation mark. Like this was good news. Like he wasn't about to make me cancel an entire day of my life. 9 to 5, an 8-hour window. For a boiler check that realistically takes maybe 15 minutes once he's actually there. I want you to understand what happened to my brain in that exact moment. It did not think, okay, I'll just go about my day and he'll text when he's close. No, it thought, I must now become a statue. I must remain in a state of permanent readiness for the next 8 hours. I cannot leave. I cannot relax. I must be on. So the next morning, I wake up at 7 a.m. for a window that starts at 9. I do not know why I needed 2 extra hours of preparation, but apparently my nervous system disagreed with me on that point. I started, and I want you to really sit with this, cleaning, not normal cleaning, forensic cleaning. I wiped down surfaces that had never once been dirty in their entire existence. I reorganized my bookshelf by color, which I have never done before and will never do again, because I had some deep instinctive belief that a landlord checking a boiler would somehow judge my reading habits if the spines weren't aesthetically pleasing. I want to list some of the things I hid, because looking back at this list genuinely concerns me. I hid a perfectly ordinary stack of mail. I hid a single sock that was just sitting on a chair. I hid a half-finished glass of water because I decided with total conviction that an unfinished glass of water made me look unstable. I unplugged my phone charger from the wall and coiled it up neatly because a visible charging cable felt, in that moment, deeply incriminating. None of these things matter. None of these things have ever mattered to anyone. And yet, there I was at 7:40 a.m. hiding a sock like it was evidence. By 8:45, the apartment looked like a furniture showroom, suspiciously clean, the kind of clean that, if anything, would make a normal person more suspicious, not less. If I were the landlord walking into that apartment, I would have immediately thought, something is wrong here. This is not how a person actually lives. At 9:01 a.m., exactly 1 minute into the window, I sat down on my couch, fully dressed, hair done, like I was going to a job interview that I had not actually been told was happening, and I waited. By 9:30, I had checked my phone for new messages 11 times, nothing. By 10 a.m., I had moved from the couch to the kitchen floor for reasons I genuinely cannot explain, except that sitting on the floor somehow felt more alert than sitting on the couch. Like I needed to be physically lower to the ground in case I had to react quickly to something. React to what? A boiler check. I want to be very clear. The entire threat I was preparing for was a boiler check. By 11 a.m., I had started practicing what I was going to say when he arrived, out loud, to my empty apartment. I want you to actually hear this, because it's the moment that made me realize something had gone deeply wrong with my brain that day. I said out loud to nobody, "Oh, hey, no worries, come on in." Then I tried it again, slightly differently. "Hey, no problem at all. The boiler's just through here." I was workshopping different versions of casual. I was doing vocal takes for a single sentence I would say to a man I already knew and had spoken to many times before. At one point, I genuinely paused and thought, was that too enthusiastic? Did I sound too eager? Should I sound more neutral? I had spiraled into auditioning tones of voice for a boiler check. By 1 p.m., 4 hours into the window, I had not eaten anything because I had decided eating would somehow make me less prepared. I don't know what state of readiness I thought I was protecting. I think some part of me believed that if he arrived mid-bite, it would somehow reveal something unflattering about my character. A man eating lunch in his own home. Deeply suspicious behavior, apparently. It was around 2 p.m. that the candle incident happened. I have a candle, a completely normal candle, lavender scented, that I sometimes light when I'm reading. It was sitting on my coffee table, where it always sits, doing absolutely nothing wrong. I looked at that candle, and for reasons I still cannot trace back to any logical thought process, I decided the candle looked like a lot. Like having a lit candle or even an unlit candle just sitting there suggested some kind of lifestyle that I needed to hide from a man coming to check a boiler. So I picked up the candle, I walked it to my bedroom, I opened a drawer, I put the candle in the drawer, I closed the drawer, and then I stood there in the middle of my bedroom holding nothing, having just hidden a candle from my own landlord, and had what I can only describe as a small, quiet moment of clarity where I thought, what is happening to me right now? Why have I just hidden a candle? What is a candle going to tell him? That I enjoy ambience? Is that the secret I'm protecting? I did not bring the candle back out. I left it in the drawer for the rest of the day. I want that detail on record. By 3 p.m., I had reached a strange, hollow calm. The kind of calm that comes after panic has been sustained for so long that your body simply runs out of panic to give. I sat very still. I stared at a wall. At one point, I watched a single fly move across my living room and felt genuinely a flicker of jealousy because that fly had complete freedom of movement and I did not. At 4:12 p.m., my phone buzzed. I have never moved that fast in my entire life. I lunged for it like it was a fire alarm. The message said, "Hey, sorry, got pulled into something, going to have to reschedule the boiler check. Is next week okay?" Next week, I had sat on my own kitchen floor, hidden a sock, hidden a candle, rehearsed casual greetings out loud to an empty apartment, and skipped lunch for a visit that was not happening that day at all. I sat there holding my phone for a long moment, not even angry, just deeply, deeply tired. Tired in a way that an 8-hour boiler check should never have been able to make me. I had defeated myself. Nobody had done this to me. There was no test. There was no inspection. There was just me and a closed drawer and a candle that had done nothing wrong. I got up off the kitchen floor. I went to my bedroom. I opened the drawer. I took the candle out. I put it back on the coffee table exactly where it belonged, and I lit it, out of spite mostly, at the candle's expense for what it had been through that day. I texted my friend the whole story afterward because I needed someone else to confirm that this was, in fact, completely unhinged behavior and not a normal Tuesday. She read the whole thing and replied with a single message that said, "You hid a candle?" Just that. No further comment needed. The candle really was the moment that broke the story for everyone I told it to. He did eventually come the following week, by the way. Tuesday, around 11 a.m., gave 15 minutes notice like a normal person checking in on a normal day. I let him in. We talked about the weather for 90 seconds. He checked the boiler. It took 6 minutes. He left. The candle was sitting right there on the coffee table the entire time. He did not look at it. He did not comment on it. He did not, as far as I could tell, register its existence in any way whatsoever. 6 minutes. That's all it took. 6 minutes against 8 hours of preparation, hiding, rehearsing, and emotional collapse over home decor. So here's what I've taken from this, for whatever it's worth. I think a lot of us have some version of this. A landlord, a parent visiting, an inspection of some kind, where the actual event is 15 minutes long, but the anticipation completely consumes an entire day, sometimes longer. We don't fear the event itself. We fear some imagined version of judgment that almost never actually shows up. Nobody has ever cared about my candle except me in that one specific moment, for reasons I will never fully understand. But here's what I genuinely want to know, and I want you to actually tell me in the comments. If you had a landlord or anyone coming to check something in your home with an 8-hour window like that, would you go full lockdown mode like I did, hiding things, rehearsing what to say, sitting on the floor for hours? Or are you one of those mysteriously calm people who just goes about your day like a normal person and answers the door when it actually happens? Because I have a theory that most of us have hidden something completely ordinary right before someone came over. A coffee mug, a jacket on a chair, something. Tell me what your version of the candle is. I need to know. I am not the only one capable of this specific kind of unraveling over absolutely nothing. And if this story made you feel even slightly less alone in your own pre-visit chaos, that's exactly what we do here on Crazy Tales. Every week, a new story about completely ordinary situations that somehow spiral into something ridiculous, usually because of decisions only I would make. If you want more of that, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss the next one, and send this to a friend who you know has hidden something equally pointless before a visitor came over. They'll know exactly what I mean. I'll see you in the next story. And if you ever find yourself hiding a candle from your landlord, just stop. Put the candle down. You're going to be fine.